a lot of work, a lot of 2D animation I haven't got around to doing yet. So here we are on camera.
Yeah, well, we're not. Again, the whole thing might not go out. It might. But
give your camera a wave.
I've already looked at the camera like 7 times. All right. Anyway, and you're gonna hate that. Forget it. We've got Garden State Garibaldi, the New Jersey supporters group of Nottingham Forest. So that's at NFFC NJ. Huge shout out to them. That's a new supporters group. Huge one to them. We've got James Ross.
Will that be a rival for the New York one?
I don't think they'll be rivals. I think they'll be sort of close cousins or alumni or whatever you might call it. But I think Dan was in the New York one. I think he might have set up New Jersey, but I don't know for sure. And if he did, reach out to me. And if he didn't, whoever did New Jersey, reach out to us anyway. We've got James Ross representing whilst on holidays in Rhodes, so in Greece. Huge shout out to James Ross out there in Greece. That was while I think Forest playing Olympiacos. Don't know if he made the game. Don't think he did. But yeah, huge shout out to James. Big shout out to Jan, who is just completing a 3-week holiday in Thailand. Lovely trip, well needed. Been flying the flag out here and met a travelling Derby fan who we managed to have a bit of back and forth with, especially over our respective results against Chesterfield. Fair play to you, Jan. Jan is also the new chair of Nottingham Forest South West, which includes all the Forest supporters groups down in the South West. So it's Nottingham Forest Supporters Club South West and M5 branch, I think they're called. He also set up NFFC Avon, Bristol and Bath. So huge shout out to Jan.
Gosh, there's so many supporters groups in the southwest of England. The fact they've got one for M5, they've got Southwest in general, and then he's got his Avon and Bath. I mean Bristol and Bath. Sorry. Wow.
Yeah. Pretty class, isn't it? Pretty class.
There's more Forest going on, I think, down there than there is in Nottingham.
Well, there is right now, but I mean, it's going well anyway. Right, Adam, we've got, he was out, I think he was in Ibiza, and he said, our pool host in the hotel is the proud owner of my Forest shirt. We are truly all over. Emilio, great guy, supports Ibiza Union Deportivo. So I think he must be out in Ibiza. So huge shout out to Adam. And we've got an NFFC all over Forest fan from Palmerstown North, New Zealand, English born, moved to Nottingham in 1976, came to New Zealand in 2000, obviously delighted to see Forest having 2 Kiwis in the club, even if Stamanic is off to Olympiacos. So that's massive shout out to I think his name is John Bucha. I think this is what his, or whatever. Anyway,
wow,
at
well, a long way away
on Twitter. So that's a huge.
We've not had someone as far away as that on for ages, have we?
No, well, we have had quite a few. I mean, we just recently, Matt and I, by the way, everyone, we just did a trailer for our YouTube channel. So we're just releasing a YouTube channel. Go to @Forest all over on YouTube right now and subscribe immediately. And
I've been convinced by Chris to let go and just get online on video.
Yes.
I'm not happy about it.
Thank you. Matt's not happy about it, but we are going to
That's why you'll always see me in some disguise like this on our videos, because I'm trying to...
Well, there's no need for any disguise, but anyway, everyone head over to the YouTube channel @Forest all over. You've probably seen the trailer already. It'll probably be released before or after this is out. But either way, what I was going to say about the trailer was it was good to see all the people from Dubai and China and Toronto and everywhere, and it showed Bermuda and Hawaii, all the old Forest all over guests and listeners that we've had on this podcast over the course of the last 5 years, which is how long we've been going, and this is the season opener. This is our 5th or 6th season. Which one is it, Matt?
6th season opener. This is our 6th season.
Is it 6th though? Technically, I mean, we kind of did the end of 2019-20 season, didn't we? So
yeah, we did the end of that one during the COVID, and we began, and there was an Explosion of Forest podcast that we weren't aware was going to happen, and we thought we'd do something really different and unique, and then we realised we're the same as everyone else. But actually, we're still going strong, and it's wonderful. You guys are still tuning in and listening. We've taken the advice from so many of you to go on YouTube and try this out. Listen, Chris as well has just gone through. I'll just touch on this very briefly because I know you don't really want to make it about this, and we shouldn't do, but it was really kind. I think you felt really touched by all the well wishes you received from our listenership on your tragic news of the passing of your father last week, the wonderful Justin Aylmer. And yeah, condolences to you, my friend, on behalf of me and everyone that listens to this podcast. You and I have spoken a lot about it, but I just wanted to clear that because I know it meant a lot to you to hear from everyone in this community.
Yeah, no, it certainly did. Thank you to all my friends and obviously all my family or anyone who listens to this who's been close like you, who was there for me. I really appreciate it. And just huge thanks to everyone, I can't name you all, who reached out. It was really touching and I really appreciate it. My dad was a great man.
Yeah, but we can't let our listeners think that we actually like each other, so we should.
So we should pretend that I didn't love you last week and that we're not going to Bournemouth this week together and drinking loads of beers and going to have good chats as well as bad chats. We do always argue, but for a reason, everybody. Let's tell them what's coming up on the episode.
Well, we've got a great... Well, Statsman Will helped us out. We've got to do a season opener, and he came up with a list of questions that are, you know how everyone does predictions of different things that can happen at the season, where we're going to finish, who's going to play, starting 11, etc., etc. We've kind of just got another one of those, but it's slightly funny in places. There's some odd bits, and the three of us took it off our WhatsApp group. We've answered them, and we're going to talk through it this weekend. Chris and I will go first, and then we shall roll the clip of our very own Statsman Will, who's joining us on our first YouTube chat video, to give us his answers of them. Chris, what sort of questions were they? There was like season finishing position.
Finishing position, round of the FA Cup, round of the League Cup, points accrued, top goal scorer, etc., etc. Let's not ruin it for everyone. Let's just go through them one by one
cool.
and give our answers as we go. And by the way, for the record, the YouTube channel, we're going to be doing a Forest All Over the World episode on Wednesday, so pre-match and post-match. Can you explain that really quickly before we go into this, just so everyone knows what's coming for the season?
The one you're listening to right now is just Chris's and I's podcast that we've been doing for years as mates, who coined by his wife, actually, as two best friends who hate each other but love Nottingham Forest. That's us, like so many other people, I think, relate to that. This is going to be the same show. We're just filming it now and uploading it each week.
Are we uploading clips of this each week? This show we're only doing clips of.
We'll work it out.
Yeah. We're doing the full show of the next one.
The point is the show is the same. It's just people are getting a visual.
There's no need to get touchy with me. Just get on to the next bit of the promo.
It's not touchy. But then, Chris has been promising, and much to my frustration, actually, is those of you that have listened to this before, I get very annoyed when he keeps promising he's doing these round the world things.
Well, we do them. We just do them bi-weekly or every 3 weeks rather than every week.
They're not even bi-weekly. We've done a few, and they're really good. But they're bi-weekly and there's no organisation. So what we're doing is organising it.
All right.
Chris is going to take care of it, and he's going to do a sort of more classic StreamYardy YouTube podcast pre-match every week, hopefully with someone from anywhere in the world. That can include people in England and in Nottingham. It can include people in the Southwest, Stam. It can involve the same people each week, but we'll have a little... be kind of gamified, it'll be kind of silly, it'll be kind of fun, it'll be short and sweet, but Chris will be doing that for YouTube every pre-match. So just get in touch if you fancy joining in. Even those of you that go on holiday as well, you don't have to be a fan abroad, living somewhere, you can just be on holiday for a game. And
basically, there's a post-match show with me and Matt. We'll upload clips or maybe the whole show, I don't know yet, on YouTube of that. There's also a pre-match show, and that'll be with only Forest All Over the World fans who are in a different part of the world, either on holiday or a fan group or just there at the time about to watch Forest. That's it.
Got you. So what you're saying is that the post-match, the show that we have done for 6 seasons that we're embarking on now, is a quote-unquote post-match. But yeah, it's kind of a little bit of everything that's happened in however long it's been since we spoke.
You ready? Finishing position. Yeah. You go first, I'll go second. Go. Finishing position.
What did I say? I
don't even remember. Waste of time. I'll do mine. 14th.
No, tell me your finishing position.
I've done it. 14th.
I think
we'll finish 14th. Well. I said 13th on the red side of the Trent. I've said 14th on Forest Focus. I'm sticking to 14th. I think it'd be a good way to finish the season. 14th would be very good progress for us. It's going to be a tougher season than last year because last year we had Luton who were rubbish. And what do you think?
I said 14th.
It's just the same. Wow, we agree more than we think.
No, I in my heart I wanted to go higher, but there's that part of me that was like, let's be realistic. Also, I don't want to peak too soon. I want a nice, healthy, gradual build into the Premier League. I'd probably be happy with 17th again if it looked more comfortable and wasn't scrapping. And do you know what I mean? But I'm going to say we can get 14th.
Okay. What round of the FA Cup do we get to?
I said we'll get to the quarterfinals.
Okay. Wow, that's pretty...
I hope we...
Yeah. Okay. All right.
What did we get to last year? It was the Man United game, wasn't it? Or was that League Cup?
No, that was League Cup, and that was the season before. Oh, no. Last year we played Man United in the 5th round, just before the quarterfinals. The quarterfinals,
and that was in the League Cup.
That was the FA Cup.
Right, yeah, I was at it. I was in the Trent End, but it was a massive queue to get in, and I missed the opening like 10 minutes or something. But yeah, Great game.
I reckon we'll get to the 4th round of the FA Cup. I reckon we'll meet someone heavy hitter early on. FA Cup always happens a little... Or is it the League Cup happens earlier or the FA Cup?
But League Cup's early. The League Cup's early. I think FA Cup starts in January.
I think FA Cup will get to the fourth round. I think we'll meet some heavy hitter early, and as a result, we'll probably get knocked out. I think it'll be something like someone who really wants a trophy, like Newcastle or Spurs, and then they'll probably lose later on. Do you know what I mean? They're not that heavy hitters, but they have the depth and they have the talent.
Who do you hope we draw in the early rounds of the FA Cup?
Who do I hope we draw in the early rounds of the FA Cup? I just want shit teams the whole way to the semi-final. Like what
You don't
Man
think it'll be
United
fun
kind of
to
got
pull?
last
You don't
year.
want to draw Notts County or
Well, Man
Derby?
United played us, so I'm calling us terrible then. But no, I'm saying like I just want to play teams that we can potentially beat the whole way through. I love.
But would you not enjoy like a fixture against Derby or Notts County?
No, I'm not interested in Derby. No, they don't matter to me. They don't mean anything.
I've got one for you.
Go on.
Luton. We draw Luton.
Again, another team that doesn't interest me. They're not in our league. They're not on our level. Don't need them. Not in our level. Luton, sorry, get out.
I would love us to draw Luton and just beat them again.
Well, yeah, you say again.
Yeah!
We drew with them
yeah.
twice last year, so I don't remember when they
Get out of it, Luton!
Right, okay. What round of the League Cup?
If
Let's
we
move
draw
on.
Luton, promise me now we're going to go together to it.
We're not. Last time we went to Luton was an absolute disaster. We were 2-0 up with 10 minutes to go. We drew 2-2, and you kept complaining the whole time afterwards. And then for weeks and weeks on end, you wouldn't stop going on about Luton until you made me hate them. And now I do. Let's move on to the League Cup. League Cup, what
But
round?
just answer
Go.
the question. Would you love to go with me to see Forest play Luton and beat them in the FA Cup next year?
If we beat them, yes, but I just never really want to go to a Luton game with you again. Then again, we're going to Bournemouth this weekend, and Bournemouth have our Achilles heel, and I don't like them either, and I'm having to sit beside you complain about it the whole time. So,
Yeah, well,
look,
they're trying to snake the strikers that won't come to our club.
yeah, it's trying to snake any strikers. No, they take one look at the Liberty Stadium and they go, that's not very Liberty at all. It's very crap. Anyway, let's move on. League Cup. Where are we getting to in the League Cup, Matt?
I said League Cup semis. Wow, I've got an ambitious cup run here.
You've gone ambitious in both the FA Cup and the League Cup. I've gone with the quarterfinals. I think we'll do well in the League Cup. I think we'll get to the quarterfinals. And I think we'll
Starts
take it seriously.
earlier, and Nuno's on a mission, isn't he, to have a positive start. The League Cup starts early. The quarters come in sort of in the new year, don't they?
Also, we have a bit more depth. So usually we'd play some of our squad players or fringe players in the cups, and they might not be as good as the first 11, but now I feel like we have almost two players for every position, so those players will be fighting to get into the team, and our League Cup squad will be very good and working hard to try and win those games, which bodes well for the League Cup. So
pick a player who you think's going to be like a little League Cup legend.
League Cup legend, Harry
Someone like
Toffolo.
Josh Bowler if he's still playing.
Harry Toffolo.
Harry Toffolo, League Cup legend. Like it.
There we go.
Next one.
Points accrued. What did you have?
Points accrued, I've gone for 45.
45.
I looked at the last 14th place finishes over the past 6 seasons, and they were all pretty much between 40 and 47, give or take.
Right, so you've actually done a bit of research on this for a change. That's strange. I'll go with 44. I have 44. That's what I have down here. I'm sticking to 44. I think that'll get us somewhere around 14th, and we move on. Top goal scorer. Go for it.
Who did I go for? Because I couldn't really choose. Top goal, I put Callum Hudson-Odoi, 11 goals, and it'll be a season of shared goals for Forest.
Right, well, to be honest, I actually think that's a really logical shout. Because our top goal scorer last year was Chris Wood with 14. Hudson-Odoi was on like 8 or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, you actually...
He was a slow starter. Imagine him now with the pre-season, confidence up, feeling embedded. I really want Cho to become...
Just really quickly, important to
talisman.
note that I think Hudson-Odoi was injured for about 4 to 6 weeks at the start of last season as well.
Yeah. He was.
Okay, I have top goal scorer, new striker, 14 goals. We don't know who the new striker is yet. We've had a look. I think there was news of who was that? Barcelona? Is it Victor Roque or Roque?
Only you would not pick a player that we know we have for a game like this.
Well,
There's going to be someone.
No, but I
fair
don't
enough.
know who our new striker is going to be. I'm looking up this.
I was about to call it hypothetical, but this game in its essence is
Roque,
hypothetical.
I think is his name. But anyway, that's
This is just one big hypothetical conversation.
Yeah, but I'm not saying he's going to be the one because I don't know he's coming to Forest. But I'm saying the new striker we sign, which we will sign a new striker. I believe we'll sign a new striker, is going to get 14 goals, and he's going to be our new top goal scorer. Right? That's a bit of a left field one. You should be impressed by that. You're usually the one thinking you've thrown a left field stuff at me.
No, as I was just saying, I don't think you quite heard me. I was annoyed at first, rolling my eyes, because it's like, oh, it's so hypothetical to just pick someone that isn't even a Forest player yet. We don't know. But this whole conversation is just hypothetical nonsense.
Yes,
So
it is.
I kind of have to give you a little bit of okay, fair enough. You're picking someone who may or may not play for Forest. Great.
I don't even think it's that hypothetical. If we get a new striker in and he happens to start ahead of Toivo and Chris Wood,
No, you missed the point. This whole conversation is
goal
hypothetical. We're hypothesizing.
No, we are hypothesizing, but you're acting like it's some sort of fairy tale, wishy-washy statement like you would make. It's nothing like the stuff you would say.
Like I would make. I'm just giving you loads of logic. Let's carry on. Let's carry on.
Right. Best signing or the best player of the season. Go for it. Who's going to be the best player of the season?
I've gone for more. I've given in. I've caved, and I accept that Morgan Gibbs-White.
Right, and I'll tell you, there's no surprise. I've put Morgan Gibbs-White as well. Why do you think you've given in or caved to that? Because I don't think you've caved at all. I think that's a very logical choice. Because
I just always think he's a little bit overhyped.
You're absolutely ridiculous. You disgust me. I'm ashamed of you.
He's not overhyped. He's amazing. I'm talking about in the context of what his hype is. And why does everyone always go, oh, he's got to get some goals, though. He's got to start getting some goals. That's true.
Yeah, but Matt, he's playing as a number 10, and he's got us 10 assists last season, 10 assists the season before. All right.
Is that what number 10s do? Just get 10 of everything.
Yeah, okay. But you know what I'm saying. Last year, I think he was third in the assist table, joined third with a lot of people, maybe Anthony Gordon, Son, and stuff like that. But he's getting the same number of assists as top 6 players who get more of the ball, who get more opportunities to get assists, who get into those positions more readily, and have strikers who are better than ours finishing. Right. So I'm just saying he's getting 10 assists every season, the last 2 seasons, in relegation struggling sides. That's what he does.
It's also very easy to see some of the negatives, like his great delivery free kicks, but wasn't he like appalling at corners and kept taking corners for a period of time?
I wouldn't say he was appalling, but he was definitely off. He was off pace. Like he wasn't as good as he can be at taking corners.
Anyway, I think he's gonna grab the season by the scruff of the neck this year. I wonder if he'll be Yates is going to be captain, isn't he?
Yates will be captain. Morgan will be vice, right? I imagine,
right, something like that.
I imagine that's what it is. But I reckon the sort of on the pitch starting captain regularly, weekly, mentally will be Morgan Gibbs-White, because Yates isn't going to start every game. He'll be captain from the sidelines, much like what Joe Worrell was sort of the season before last, or at the beginning of last season. I think that's kind of what Ryan Yates will be, because he won't be starting every game. So Gibbs-White will be the one sort of taking the lead and wearing the armband onto the pitch. Okay. Grant, let's move on to best signing. Who do you think the best signing is going to be?
I reckon it's going to be Milenkovic.
You're too logical this time round. It's a very good pick. Serbian
it's a boring pick, though. I don't know. I think it's a bit of an obvious pick, though. But I don't know. I think he's going to bring such maturity and resilience to our defence. I mean, we're saying that. It's all just hope. I mean, what happens if he gets injured?
I'll just say this one thing about Milenkovic, right? He's been, Fiorentina's centre-back for 6 years. He's got 50 plus caps for Serbia, who are a decent international side. I just think, of course, he could be the best signing. I think it's a really logical choice. And I actually have a bit of a red hot take on him at some point later on. So we'll go into...
What's that guy that we had that fan on from Serbia that supports Forest?
Milanovic, yes. Yeah, he's
Milanovic.
Serbia,
he must be buzzing that we've signed their nation's centre-back, or one of their nation's centre-backs.
I think he is, and I actually would have had him on and chatted to him about it at the time, but obviously me and you were unorganised, so that was never going to happen.
We'll get him back. We'll get Milan back on, because he was a great guy.
Right, big shout out to Milan. Not AC Milan, who were trying to rob some of our players, but Milanovic from Serbia. Okay, best signing for me. Look, I put new striker again, right? But what's the laugh about?
Nothing. Keep going because of time. But
right. So you don't even want to.
Just less fun to pick. You've got all these new players. You've got players from last season. You're going, oh, someone else is going to still arrive through the magic doors of the City ground and be the best thing since sliced bread. It's like, what if Chris Wood just keeps outdoing us like he keeps outdoing us as fans constantly?
Are we going to sign a new striker?
Well, who knows?
Are we? Shut up. Don't say who knows. Yes or no. More than likely, are we going to sign a new striker? Yes or no?
It's likely.
Okay. Well, then shut your mouth. Moving on. Failing the new striker, I have a bit of a left field one. Moreira, I think, could be a best signing for the future, because I think he looks really talented for an 18-year-old. I'm so surprised by how actually good he looks, if I'm honest with you. He's barely played senior football, and he looks really, really good, really on point. And yeah, that would be my other left field one. But new striker is definitely the new best signing for me anyway. Let's move on to, we put this in, worst signing. You'll love this one. Go for it. Worst signing.
Oh, I've gone for Carlos Miguel.
Reasons why?
We're still looking for another keeper. All anyone goes on about is height and it's from that club, but he's got really bad distribution, and it's crucial. It's like...
Does he have bad distribution? We haven't really seen that much of him, have we?
That's what the reports are. And then when you listen to the Forest podcast that spoke to that South American correspondent...
Nathan Jones, I think it is.
Maybe. I don't want to say because I might get the name wrong. Apparently he's not a very good kicker. And also, Matt Sells is getting picked ahead of him, clearly, as it stands. So... I feel like he might be the most disappointing signing. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But I had to pick someone.
Matt Sells should be getting picked ahead of him because Matt Sells was our number one towards the back end of last season. And what should happen is Miguel should then step up again and try and win a place.
There's an overriding feeling that Matt Sells is like all we could get though at the time. Since the Brice Sambas, since even the Lee Camps, we haven't got...
Lee Camps? What are you... Like, we're Brice Samba, yeah, but Lee Camps a long time ago. Not that, no disrespect to Lee
then we had Darlow, we've just had a string of keepers.
Why don't we go back to, since the Mark Crosleys, since the Peter Shiltons, like, let's just talk about... Since the Brice Samba, and we'll do it from there. Yes, it's been tricky. Henderson Navas came in.
Listen, I like Matt Sells. Mate, I've given you my answer. It's Carlos Miguel. I think he's the biggest disappointment. Let's have yours.
Okay, Carlos Miguel, right. I think it's the worst signing. It's not biggest disappointment. It's worst signing. Right,
worst signing.
Right, worst signing. One of Sousa or Jota Silva I've put in. Sousa's not with us yet. I think he's going to be signing.
So one of two again, Chris.
God. Well,
I'll
just say Jota
for the
Silva.
First time watching, Chris just never answers questions.
I'm answering the question now.
But if we could all pick two, go either this or either them, then it'd just be a different conversation. But go on.
Yeah, well, I hope that your headphone isn't leaking some of my audio into your microphone there by sitting on your stupid scarfy head.
Yeah, well, that's because I've got an ear infection and I can't wear it on my ear.
Okay, look, you smile because you know you get some empathy from me, right? Okay.
I don't want empathy from you, mate.
Well, just turn down
I'm
the
just laughing
volumes.
because you forgot that I had the ear infection. You know, it's been giving me aggro.
I'm just saying, turn down the volume. That'll help your ear infection. Right. I said Jota Silva. I think he's going to be the worst signing.
This is a disguise, not a stupid scarf. It's a 1979 Malmo bought at the game.
Sorry, that was that was John Scarf.
Born at the European Champion final when Forest won by my friend John that I got to see Forest with.
That is very cool. I don't have. Yeah, I now look like an idiot. So it's a cool scarf.
I knew he said Champions League, but I was like, it's European Championship.
Same thing. Yeah. Champions League, European Championship, back to back. No one's done it except for Forest, Liverpool, maybe Real Madrid. Can't name any other clubs who've done it because we're such a historic, legendary club. Right. We've done the worst signing. I said Jota Silva. You said Carlos Miguel. Most disappointing player. Go for it.
Murillo, I put.
What?
Yeah, I got for Murillo.
Wow,
I wanted to put something exciting in the pile.
This is so Matt. Go on. Why? Reasons why.
Because of that interview at the beginning of the summer, then because of his pre-season, and now because I'm going, he'll come good. I'm like, what if he doesn't? What if we've just already overdone it? We've over-wanted, we've over-hoped, we've over-talked, and he is a young man whose mind is elsewhere, and he's going to be fine, but what if he's just not what we need? And it's just really disappointing. Most disappointing player.
Well, he's 22 years old and he won Player of the Season for us last year, and I have
exactly. So he's in the highest, he's in the best position to disappoint because he's got such high.
No doubt that Murillo is going to perform for us and be absolutely fine. Just because you've seen a couple of preseason games where he gave away penalties.
It's not really because of that. It's because we're playing a game here.
If he played brilliant, hang on. If he played brilliant in pre-season, would you or would you not be changing your mind? Probably not, because the way you talk about people's interviews and you have this magical, wishy-washy fairy tale kind of style of connecting things together. But in reality, the truth is, he was our best player last season, and I'd go one further. He might be one of our best players this season if he plays the whole year. All right, so eat that. Moving on. I said Taiwo, most disappointing player, only for his lack of fitness, or even if he comes back, he fails to score as much as he did before. So everyone.
I
that's
think
a really
he is
obvious
what
one.
we've realised. He's already become the most disappointing.
But he's
player,
not the
though.
no, hang on. He's not, because every time he plays, he seems to score. I think this will be the moment where he becomes the most disappointing one. And yeah, look, just mainly because of his lack of fitness, which is unfortunate. It's not his fault. I love Taiwo to bits. Every time he's on the pitch, he frightens the life out of opposition defence. When we see him come off the bench, me and you don't go, oh no, I hope he doesn't get injured. We both go in the back of our mind, oh yeah, you know what could happen? He could get beyond these defenders. He has this way of bundling strength through defences, and it's just class. So I love him. I'm only saying
I don't think there's anyone else on our team that I want more to be player of the season than Taiwo Awoniyi. And that's not one of the questions in our thing. Just hearing you say that, there's no one I want more to do well for us this year than Taiwo Awoniyi.
Right. Okay. Well,
do you know what I mean?
No, I do know what you mean. And I'm in the same boat. I honestly, genuinely, maybe I'm a Bamidele because he's Irish, but like, you get what I'm saying. Yes, I'm in the same boat. I would love to see him just absolutely produce, and love to see him get more than 30 games, play more than 30 games this season. That would be a start. Best defender, I've put Milenkovic. I imagine you've Milenkovic as well because he was your best signing. So we'll move on from that.
I must have done, yeah.
You must have done, yeah. Yeah.
No, I put Aina.
Here we go. Right.
Ola Aina, best defender.
Right, well, we know the reasons why. Because he's strong, he's fast, he's class, he's
another contender for biggest disappointment, though, for similar reasons as Murillo.
Who's going to be the biggest disappointment?
He's a contender for biggest disappointment.
So hang on, you reckon that our best defender is going to be Aina, but you reckon he's a contender for biggest disappointment as well? Like, what? That doesn't even make sense.
Because I've gone for him being my best defender because I think he's going to... Actually, I've screwed up my list. I actually think he's going to be our player of the season, but I can't go back.
Now you're burying yourself under the sand of nonsense here, man.
I'm so excited about Ola Aina. He's one of my top Forest players. I love him.
I love this. He's contender for one of the worst players. Ola Aina is one of my top Forest players.
Well, no, contender for biggest disappointment. These players that are our favourites have the highest to fall from, so therefore they're the most disappointing. Josh Bowler's not going to disappoint me. He could have the worst season of the whole thing. He's not going to be the biggest disappointment because I kind of go, well, yeah, I'm not expecting anything from him.
Right, well, that's a very good point, well made. I'll move on before people start thinking I'm going to agree with you some more. Best midfielder. Best midfielder, go on.
Let's see, I think I did correlate to my goal thinking bed. Oh no, I put Sangare.
Yeah, I put Sangare as well. Do you want to give your reasons why?
Just because we all know the reasons why. I think he's going to have a really good season. I think he's going to hold a midfielder, and I think
he's going to have a really good season. I think he's been a holding midfielder. No. The reasons why are because in pre-season, he has been far away probably the best player on the pitch in every single game. He looks superior to everyone he's played against so far. He, at one point against Olympiacos, he was playing, Brazilian samba football in the air, volleying it around players and then spraying it like Scalzi to the left-hand side. The first 15 minutes I watched him in that game, I thought, if he goes up the gears, he will be the best player on the pitch. It's really exciting. He did have a couple of good games last season, but for the most part was disappointing, and Ryan Yates filled in admirably and very well. But in reality, we know Sangare has a really high ceiling, and I'm excited to see him. I think he's going to be the best midfielder as well. Best forward or winger? Go for it.
Well, I just want to ask, do you think there'll be a period of time next season where the name Ibrahim Sangare is ringing on the lips of like mainstream media pundits for the best? When someone's name starts going, oh my God, like it was, what's his name? Caicedo at Brighton that year. It's been Kante at Leicester that year. Not Kante. Is it Kante?
Yeah, Kante was at Leicester prior to Chelsea. Yeah.
It's been
no, you named two. That's enough. I know exactly what you mean. So,
and I just wonder if Ibrahim Sangare, everyone's going to go, like the mate, and everyone's going to start, and we could start going, well, yeah. Do you remember when you were laughing at us for signing another load of players in our second season? Well, we won't say it like that. We won't get defensive.
We will get defensive. We will have a go at everyone. We will get angry, and we will frustrate other teams by slagging them off for slagging us about all our signings. When all of a sudden they want to pick up Danilo, Murillo, Sangare, and all these players from us, and we say no, we've got them locked down on big contracts, and we'll send everyone else off packing, and we'll laugh in their faces because we're going to have a magic season. So yes, we'll get defensive. Sangare is going to be the best midfielder. Best forward or winger, let's move on.
I can hear like the likes of Jason Cundy and Jamie O'Hara going, who's that guy? Who's that guy? Why have we not got him? Why have we not got him? Have you seen that guy at Forest? oh, Ibrahim Singh, God, you know what I mean?
And then it'd be like, he's been there for 2 years. Why are you guys saying this now? Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I really hope that comes true. We're going to play this back later in the season, as and when we hear that sort of thing.
Okay, perfect. Let's move on. Best forward or winger? Go.
Yeah, I'd love to say Elanga so badly. I just really want him to be my favourite ever since I've gone for Hudson-Odoi. Hudson-Odoi.
Right.
I believe because he's going to be the top goal scorer for Forest, it's going to be his year. Best forward or winger. As it were.
I had one of Jota or Silva or Sousa again, so I'm annoying you there with that. So I'm saying one of
because you said that one of those two would be your biggest disappointment or the worst player.
No, I've checked. Yeah, but
worst signing.
Yeah, well, I said one of them will be our biggest disappointment. I don't even know. Sousa's not even with Forest yet, so I need to retrace my steps.
You need to rein that in. We don't have Sosa.
No, I know. I'm going to retrace my steps, rewind, go back, and build in who I really think is going to be the best winger. And do you know what? I'm going to put a smile on your face. Anthony Elanga. And I think Anthony Elanga is going to put it all together. He's going to put the finishing, the dribbling, the pace, the power. His football IQ is going to go through the roof. He is going to put it all together, and he's going to have a monster season. And teams are going to be absolutely frightened of it. And Man United are going to be looking back more than they already did last season and saying, why did we sell him to Forest for 15 million and sign Anthony for 85 to 100 million? Why did we do that? And we'll be laughing in their faces all the way to the bank with another 10 assists and maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 goals from. I think he's going to have he's going to have a 10 and 10. He's going to have a 10 and 10. I'm going to go with 10 assists, 10 goals for Anthony Elanga as long as he stays fit.
I really hope you're right. Hope I'm right so I can beat you in this game, but I hope you're right for my heart for Forest and for that guy really deserves it. Does Man United want Danilo, by the way? Heard that?
Well, there's rumours that Man United want Danilo, but there's also rumours that Milan were reaching out to try and buy him for less than he's worth.
I just hope we string Man United along all the way to the deadline day and then screw them over like they did with us for Garner and Dean Henderson.
Yeah, well, we already screwed them over by getting Elanga, and Elanga's already done miles better than some of their awful signings. Shout out to the Man United fans who listen to this podcast. Let's go on to which keeper will play the most games.
Matt Sells. Don't tell me you're going to go someone who hasn't signed yet.
No, I have Matt Sells. Relax. I'm not going to name Ramsdale, who we've been linked to. Matt Sells.
David Seaman's son.
Okay, relax. All right. Let's move on to how many clean sheets.
I did research on this one, and I predict that we are going to get up to 9. We got more clean sheets in our first season than our second season.
I didn't know that, no.
By 1 or 2 or something.
Okay. So much of a muchness. But I've put in 7. I don't think we're going to keep that many clean sheets at all. And I've put in 7. So 7.
We got 7 in year 1, I think, if I remember rightly, and then 5 in year 2 or something.
Oh, 5 is awful. Right. Will Nuno still be manager at the end of the season?
And that probably includes cup ties as well, if you reprise. Will Nuno? I put yes. We will keep Nuno Espirito Santo as our coach.
Okay, and then
it's a risky one because I can so see him getting fired even if he does well. But yeah,
no, I think I've put yes as well, which is a risky one actually. I've put yes. I think he will be at the end because we're assuming he's going to do reasonably well. I think if Nuno does, has a reasonably good mid bottom 10 to 15th season and he's doing well, I don't think he'll get sacked. I think they'll keep him, and he's had a full preseason now, and we look good and we look organised, and I think he will be there to the end of the season. Now the next one is weirdest stuff to happen, but I don't think we need a weirdest stuff to happen. We'll just do straight into a red hot take because that's what that is
no Forest. I went with what it says. I went with weird stuff to happen. I had a bit of fun with it.
Go for it.
I've put that when we play, is it Southampton that Brereton's gone to?
Yep.
I've put that when we play Southampton, Ben Brereton scores the winning goal for Forest, an own goal off a corner, I think, or something like that. Or scores the winner, but it's an own goal against us.
You'd love that, wouldn't you? And then he celebrates it like he celebrated.
No, he wouldn't celebrate it.
No, that's the joke. Genie macaroni.
No, it's mainly after that sort of turning point where he loved scoring against us. That's that little bit too much when he's playing for Sheffield United. It felt like vengeance for some reason. It's like, no, we gave you a career.
I think the away
we gave you a career. Look at us trying to claim some sort of responsibility for his success. No, I just think it'd be really.
What do you mean?
Funny.
We should claim some responsibility. We did bring him through the
No,
academy.
but I'm saying we, as in you and I.
As in you and I.
Listen,
Well, we're part of
Gary
Forest,
Brazil can say that,
joking.
not me and you. Do you know what I mean? How weird would it be if it like bounces off his back of his head and goes in for an own goal? The brief of that question was, what would be a weird thing to happen? Weird to happen this season. I've given you some weird.
Don't use any language because we have to beep that out. Weirdest stuff to happen. Okay, well, I have Milenkovic scores 5 goals within the first 6 months. That's insane, to be honest.
5 goals, did you say, or 6 goals?
5 goals within the first 6 months. So 5 goals over the course of the season for a defender would be unbelievable. I've put he scores 5 within the first 6 months to January, basically.
August, September, October, November. Yeah. So by January, Milenkovic's going to have 5 goals. He really is going to be player of the season, best signing, and best defender, if that's the case.
Red hot take. You're Forest all over. Red hot take. Give me one. Give me one. Give me one.
I haven't got one.
Well, that's absolutely pathetic. I've got 2 or 3. I said one of my red hot takes on another podcast. My first red hot take was Moreira displaces Williams as the new right back.
That's cool.
I'll give you Will's. Well, Will's one's going to play out later, but you know, he had a really, really good red hot take. But I have one here, which is, you're going to hate this one. A new striker comes in and displaces both Taiwo and Wood, becoming the mainstay and scoring the most goals, which is what I've kind of already mentioned. So it's not really a massive red hot take, but I think it's pretty good.
That's Luke, mate. That's a
Don't
Luke.
give me the
that's a
lukewarm stuff.
Red hot. I'd say blue, ice cold take. Sounds like a Leicester fan.
Shut your mouth.
Which you are, I guess.
You are. Stop giving me. No, I'm not going to bite. You're just saying this just because I like Cooper. So let's just leave it alone.
Well,
there's one more left.
Take.
There's one more left.
Go on then.
Biggest scalp. You give me yours. Yeah, the good one.
Scalp of the season. I said Brighton at the City Ground will beat them 4-0.
It's not that big a scalp.
4-0 against Brighton at home is a scalp.
Didn't we beat them 3-2 the season we nearly got relegated? We were 3-1 up at the last minute.
Yeah, we beat them 3-2, but 4-0 is still more of a scalp than 3-2.
You ready for my scalp?
Yeah, go on.
You love
They're going to get League Cup 7-0 against someone.
We beat Liverpool at Anfield.
Brilliant.
Now you like me. Now you love me, baby.
Yeah, I did know. I think I knew that. Forgotten. That was good. Now, hang on. I just realised. Have I misinterpreted the meaning of scalp?
Maybe. I mean, no. Go ahead.
I thought scalp was just scoreline. So could we get a scalp against?
It's not about the scoreline. No, scalp is about who is the team that we beat. That's like the biggest win of the season. Like, look, one of the biggest ones we took last season was beating Man United at home. The season before,
or Newcastle away was a scalp, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was huge. It was huge, and they were a top 14 the season before.
Okay, yeah. I like the Anfield one. I like the Anfield one.
Right, and that's. Well,
I've got to give the answers that I've given, otherwise it's pointless doing these things.
Yeah.
So I've said Brighton at home 4-0. It is a bit of a scalp.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
I mean, I just like them massively, and everyone adores them. And I can't wait for this. This is the last season of their loving. I think people will get. But I think Forest are going to steal their. We're going to steal their space.
I think people
space.
are already bored of them, and I was particularly bored going to that library of a stadium down in Brighton with you last year. I could have yawned less times.
No wonder it was so easy to get tickets.
Yeah, no wonder. It was just, yeah. Well,
but no one wants to go. I say that as a joke. We've got a really, really lovely guy who listens to this podcast who...
Yeah, we won't shout him out, but I will shout him out. He knows who he is. Right.
Yeah.
All right, lads. Will here from France. I'm just messaging you regarding my predictions. I reckon we'll finish 15th with 42 points. And I think we'll get to the quarterfinals of both the FA and the League Cup. Top goal scorer will be Chris Wood with 12 goals. I think he'll just do just as well as last season. I think Ty will probably be injured. So Wood will get a fair crack of the whip. Morgan Gibbs-White will be the best player because it's his season. The team is properly built around him now. Our best signing will be Milenkovic. I think he'll slot right in. Looks a great player. And hopefully he will chip in with a couple of goals. Most disappointing player, I've put Taiwo simply because I reckon he's going to get injured and he's not going to play much of the season again. And he doesn't look fit at the moment. Worst signing, I'm going to go with Miguel because I think he might just be a bit of a bench warmer. I don't know if he's going to break into the team. Best defender, gone Nico Williams. I think the form that he showed at the end of last season is enough to suggest that he's going to really push on. I mean, obviously the obvious one would be Murillo there, but I fancy Nico to really have a great season. Best midfield, Sangare. I think he's kicking on as well. And best forward, I've gone Cho. I think he's going to continue to score goals. I think the keeper who will play the most games is Sells. I think he'll keep 10 clean sheets over the course of the season. And Nuno will be the manager at the end of the season. Worst thing to happen, I think we absolutely batter a big team by 3 or 4 goals. I'm going to say which big team, but I'm going to say that, yeah, I think we'll put someone to the sword. And my red hot take is that we will be in the top 6 by the end of September. And that's based on Nuno's general good starts to seasons, our excellent pre-season, and our relatively easy fixture list up until the end of September, apart from Liverpool away. All right. Cheerio.
Cheerio, Will.
Cheerio, Will. I mean, to be fair to Will, he was way more concise than you and I, so no wonder we actually just played that out straight. That was pretty class, to be honest with you. Probably a bit of logic in there as well, unlike some of mine. So fair play to Dr. Statsman Will. Right. There's a couple of things to do and then we get out of here. That's it. Okay, just a couple things to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have to do the fantasy football prizes and winners because if I don't do that, people will get annoyed at me, right? It'll take a second and then they can come back to me, all right? So,
nice to see you're doing it prompt as ever.
Okay.
Aren't people over fantasy football from last year?
No, the fantasy football season is about to start. So just relax. Yeah. I'm going to do it now. So we've Dennis System, who was Thomas O'Neill, who won on 2,558 points. Forest to Coopalicious, Leo Beecroft, 2,540
change that name next year.
That was number 2. And number 3 was Radford Red, Nick Cragg, 2,539 points. So massive shout out to the 3 of them. There are prizes for you. Please reach out to us if you listen to the podcast. Last year we got 2 prizes out. The person who came second never got back to us. Please get back to us as well if you're there. And we're going to do a new Forest All Over League. And
how can they get back to us, Chris?
Sorry, I'm trying to give the league code to the new league.
But how can they get back to you? You're saying get back to us. How do they get back to you if they're not on Twitter?
Reach out to us on Instagram, Twitter, or just write to us on a comment somewhere and I'll find you.
There is an email address, which is forestallover@gmail.com.
I'm not going to check all the emails. All right.
Well, that's on you. You're running a podcast.
Forestalover@gmail.com. There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Forestalover@gmail.com.
That's on you. I'm the one running the socials most of the time as well. Give me a break. All right.
Yeah, but you're telling people to get in touch. They're like, how?
Right. Well, listen. Sign up to the new league as well. There'll be, I think the league code. I'm not going to read out the league code. Just go and sign it'll be on our socials to sign up the league. I'll give the league code again on Thursday when we do our next episode, so you have it. But sign up to the Fantasy Football League. Please get on. There's prizes for first to third, and they'll all be on our socials and everything. That's it. That's all I have to say about it. And can I just do my last segment, please? Please.
Yeah. I'm interested. I wish you told me about it in advance. I could have joined in. But go on, hit me with it.
Okay, so this is the Where Are They Now section, and I've sort of added this Where Are They Now.
Is it Strictly Come Dancing dances?
Well, do you know what the best thing about this Where Are They Now section is? I added this in my head about a couple of weeks ago when I was pretty annoyed and upset about life and things, and I thought I'll take that out on some of the teams that we dislike. So the 2 winners of the Where Are They Now section are Derby County. Where are Derby County now? Well, I'll tell you where Derby County are now. They're 4-2 to the bad against Blackburn on the opening day of the season. And Chesterfield next for them in the Cup, who they only lost to 4-0 in pre-season. Where are Derby County now? Absolutely nowhere. Do you know who else I want to do as a Where Are They Now? Luton Town, who tonight lost their season opener at home at their absolute battleground. Apparently the place, the fortress at Luton Town Stadium. Can't even remember the name of it. It's so crap. They lost to Burnley at home 4-1. So where are they now? Both of them rolling around in the championship doing absolutely nothing while we march on to Bournemouth next week and me and Matt shout out names of our favourite players banging in goals against Bournemouth. Bang!
I need to tune into that podcast, the Kenilworth Road one. They must be.
That's the name of their stadium. No one cares. I'd forgotten. Let's move
I
on.
love they lost. I didn't know they lost to Burnley.
So that's the Where Are They Now section. Next week, probably and hopefully, we'll have someone like Blackpool or Yeovil or blast from the past teams that we dislike. Do you like that?
Oh, I'll get you a Where Are They Now, because it can be people as well, right?
Yeah, I suppose it can be. Mainly players or teams that we dislike, and we go back and find out where they are and slag them off. And where Derby and Luton are is not a very good place right now.
I've been at 2 stag do's and 2 weddings this summer, and incidentally, I went on one of them with Joe Ledley. Do you remember that player who played for Derby?
Yeah, he played for Cardiff, didn't he?
I was so wrecked that I just made a fool of myself just kissing his ass. It's so embarrassing. He played at Derby as well, though, famously.
Oh, right.
And Celtic. He played in Champions. He tackled Messi.
Okay. Well, Calvin Wilson also tackled Messi. Let's move on. Okay.
And then the other guy, you'll love this. I'm at the other wedding is the cousin of Dexter Blackstock.
Oh wow, that is.
So I'm working on that. How cool would he be as a little cult hero?
I'm working on that. Just work on Dexter Blackstock, not the cousin, right? But fair play to the cousin as well.
Yeah, no,
if he's listening, we love you, cousin, but make sure you get Dex on for us, right? Yeah. Matt, sorry, we have to get out of here because it has been going on for ages, right? So, do you want to do the quick promotion just to say goodbye? What's next?
I want to say goodbye. Welcome to the new season, everyone. We're really excited, and thanks for listening to our podcast. Thanks for putting up with us on YouTube. I'm going to hate this for the rest of my life, but here we are. We are where we are. Chris, we got to shoot off. That music's getting loud. Okay. I'll catch you soon.
See you soon. Great to be back for another season. Follow us at Forest All Over on Instagram, at Forest All Over on YouTube, at NFFC All Over on Twitter or X, or alternatively go to forestallover.com or forestallovertheworld.com. We are back for another season. Matt and I will be at Bournemouth, and there'll be a pre-match show prior. Let's get out of here.
See you in Bournemouth, mate.
We won't be in Bournemouth. We'll be in Nottingham watching Bournemouth. But see you then anyway.
See you at the Bournemouth game. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.